Hey everyone, my name is Chris Lambert, and on this channel we talk Kanye West. And today we are talking Kanye in relation to Charlamagne the God. So I saw this being talked about earlier today on Twitter, mostly because Charlamagne seemed to confirm that Kanye had been planning to release Donda on November 3rd, but then didn't, right? And Charlamagne's critical of that, saying Kanye just wanted attention, and that's been one of the talking points as Kanye blew by the July release date, right? And other potential release dates that people saw, November 3rd started to be an anchor point, right? As Kanye had been running a presidential campaign, it seemed to make sense that he would maybe dovetail the two, especially after Na 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 was kind of celebratory music to what he thought he was polling in Kentucky, which ended up just being test results that weren't even close to true. Like Kanye thought he was getting 40% of the votes, when in reality he ended up getting 60,000 votes total, like 0.02%, not even 1% in most of the states that he was on, which I don't think is necessarily a bad thing. To be able to get any votes at all is kind of a huge deal. And he was getting votes in line with most of the third-party candidates from parties that have been around for a while and were putting in more money. So, I don't know. We'll see how 2024 goes for him. I imagine he still will run in 2024. But anyway, so Charlamagne, or people were expecting that, and then it didn't happen, right? He doesn't drop anything, and he was supposed to go on Jimmy Kimmel on the 4th, and people assumed that that would be not only to talk the presidential campaign, but the new album, and then he canceled that as well. And then Na 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 Remix Explicit was supposed to come out. It got sent to DJs and was going to come out Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday, and then didn't come out either. So it's kind of like three things that, well, two confirmed things, and then the album drop that were all kind of going to happen, and then none of them did. And Charlamagne refers to that here, just saying he was going to drop his album November 3rd, but there's no confirmation of that. Like, people think that he might have just been mistaking the fact that the Na 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 remix was going to come out as being tied to the album, rather than the song just coming out the same way that Kanye dropped Wash Us in the Blood, and it wasn't really attached to anything. But the bigger thing to me is that Charlamagne really, as you can see, Keller here, he like really shit talks Kanye. Whoever's off to the side here speaking says something about like, oh, I took a picture of this and I'm going to send it to Kanye. And Charlamagne's just like, I'm over Kanye. Like, I'm sick of Kanye. I'm like done with Kanye. And he's like, he's annoying. He's an idiot. That's what he calls him. He calls Kanye an idiot, and then says that like Kanye needs to deal with his damage. He's trying to get all this attention, and he just wants like constant attention and this need for attention. And it's like, dude, you call yourself Charlamagne the God. You're on radio every day. You have this other podcast. You're constantly glorifying your own perspective and opinions on things above anyone else's and think you're right about everything. And here you are saying that Kanye is seeking attention and that you're sick of Kanye because of that and all this stuff. Like, it's wild. Like, absolutely insane. And I get that you could say that there's like different levels, right? Like Charlamagne's not running for president. He's not doing these other things. But like Kanye at the end of the day is more successful and ambitious than Charlamagne. I'm sure if Charlamagne was in Kanye's position and could run for president, that he would. I mean, I'm not sure about that, but I wouldn't put it past Charlamagne. I just think Charlamagne's very hypocritical. And the fact that a lot of people in the Kanye community have had a higher, I guess, bit of respect for him after his 2018 interview with Kanye, that really was thoughtful, really was well done, and it seemed that he and Kanye were on a good track. Ever since that interview, it's just been like a downturn, right? And the start of it came in October of 2018. Kanye and Charlamagne were supposed to do like a talk on something that was like a New Yorker or New York Times were doing these discussions. And they were kind of, they weren't like major deals, right? But it was just like a series of talks that they sponsored, which them being a sponsor is kind of a bigger deal in New York City. And Charlamagne was going to do a mental health talk with Kanye. And Travis and I were actually like looking to fly out there, see if we could like get tickets to go, like see if we could maybe interview Kanye afterwards. But it was going to be interesting because Kanye really wanted to talk mental health. Charlamagne was doing a lot of mental health advocacy at that point as well. But then Kanye went to the White House and talked with Trump, right? And then he went to Africa. And it seemed like he might not get back in time. That was the reason why Travis and I didn't buy tickets, is because we're like, Kanye's still in Africa. Is he even going to be back and do this thing? And Charlamagne ended up canceling. And he said it was because Kanye, to Charlamagne, it didn't seem Kanye was in the proper state to talk about mental health, and it would only take away from the point that Charlamagne was trying to make about how we shouldn't stigmatize mental health, which in some ways is him stigmatizing mental health. He's just like, I don't think Kanye's mentally healthy enough to look good enough for what I want to talk about with mental health. So he cancels it. And ever since then, he's kind of been a dick to Kanye, like just more and more openly. And this is the most brazen I've seen him be. What's funny, though, is him canceling that talk on mental health led to Kanye tweeting about wanting to do a talk on mental health, which led to Joe Rogan tweeting at Kanye. And that's what kicked off the whole Joe Rogan Kanye interview, was Charlamagne canceling that initial talk with Kanye. But it just seems like there's going to be more rumors that Kanye was going to drop the album. There was also something from, I got rid of it, something from Casey Pluto saying that like he was feeling bad and down and out, which might be completely unrelated to the album, right? But people were also speculating, given the timing, that it seemed like the album was going to come out. We know Casey had worked like really hard on it, and the fact that it keeps not coming out, how devastating that must have been. So maybe Charlamagne's right. Maybe he just doesn't know anything at this point. But what I do know about Charlamagne's current stance on Kanye is that it feels like he's embittered, much in the way that Ebro and Rosenberg are, right after Kanye trolled them with Lift Yourself, to where it's just like Kanye hates all the time. So I think in the future, we can't really look to Charlamagne for a lot of answers regarding Kanye, because it seems like there's a falling out that has occurred. So on this, I'm sure some of you are already screaming like, Chris, Big Sean. There was something where Charlamagne said earlier, like a month ago, that Kanye owed Big Sean $3 million and had it paid him, and Big Sean was mad, and Big Sean was like, what? He does what? I'm what? No, none of that's accurate. None of that's true. And Boo said the same thing. Like, Boo was doing an interview. He's like, I heard that, and I called Big Sean. I was like, Sean, are we okay? Sean was like, yeah, I don't know what he's talking about. So Charlamagne's a hater, and also it doesn't seem like he's got the info. So that's it. This is just an anti-Charlamagne video. That's all I got for you today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you are enjoying the channel and you want to support us, the easiest way is to like, subscribe, or comment, as any of those three things tell YouTube that this is a channel people engage with, and they show it to more people, which is good. And we also have our podcast, Watching the Throne, a lyrical analysis of Kanye West, where we do line-by-line analysis of Kanye's songs and albums. And it's the most in-depth podcast about Kanye's music that you will find anywhere. You can listen to it on Apple, Spotify, any place with podcasts. And also we have our Patreon, patreon.com/Kanye podcast, that has our whole, what do you call it? Collection, archive, all of our podcast episodes that you can find them there for just $5 a month. And that's it. Until next time, stay wavy and keep it loopy. Cheers.